Hey guys, it's me, Dave. It is, what is it, 4/6/2022. So it is Wednesday. It's already Wednesday. Can you believe it? The week is half over. So, I'm not doing too bad, guys. I shouldn't say that because I'll get nailed probably, but I'm not doing too bad. So I'm going to talk about other things that we have to think about as TIs. We have to think about as targeted individuals. And that's our future. We have to think about our future. Um, I'm constantly thinking about my future. I live with a relative that is elderly right now, almost 80 years old. Um, you know, um, I could be put out on the street anytime. I have to think about my future all the time. There are different lifestyles that we could do um, in order not to be out on the street, living on the street underneath the highway or the freeway or whatever. We have to think about our future. Um, you know, oh, here's a gray area. Um, a lot of TIs, they don't want to be diagnosed. Okay, I got falsely diagnosed. I have an income coming in every month, which I'm thankful for because I cannot, it'll help me not end up on the street. You know, some people don't want to go on disability and stuff like that, and I can understand that. They don't want to be labeled, okay, because, label as crazy, mental, have mental illness or whatever. Um, some people choose to be homeless, because they don't want to be diagnosed, falsely diagnosed. Okay. So, but, so there's people living in tents. They're bouncing around to TIs and all this stuff around the U.S. and all this stuff, and they end up with perps, getting perped and all this stuff, and they end up on the street again and all this stuff. I'm trying to avoid that. Okay. Now I'm in a place where I live where I got a house. It's not my house, it's my relative's house. She took me in after all this stuff. Okay, but I am trying to get out of here. Okay, I'm trying to move out of here. I am on a waiting list for an apartment. Um, it's actually at an apartment building I used to work at. I used to do overnights at this apartment building. Um, I'm on a waiting list. I got a letter in the mail. I'm on a waiting list for this apartment. Okay, so I think you can have two dogs there. So I will be bringing Tanner with me. Tanner's my collie. If you're new to my channel, Tanner's my collie. So I'll be taking him with me, and maybe Max. Max is a little, I don't know what he is, Situ or whatever you call it, little dog, and maybe I'll take him with me. So what I'm trying to do is, I hate to say it, but I'm trying to come up with a backup plan. What if I move out and they harass me so bad, they chase me out of there and all this stuff? I gotta have a backup plan. I gotta have a backup plan. What do we do? What if I ended out on the street right now? I'd be screwed because I have a big truck payment, and we'd be living in the back of my truck with my two dogs. It would be horrible. So what if I ended up on the street a year from now? Well, I'd be in a better position in a year from now because my truck would be paid up and all this stuff. I'd have extra money, to do whatever. So, I'm constantly thinking about my future. I don't want to end up living in my truck with my dogs. The torturers would have it, if they had it their way, I would be living under the freeway with no vehicle, no driver's license, no nothing, you guys. That's what they want from me, okay? So I'm trying to avoid that. I think there are people out there helping me, making sure that doesn't happen. But if it did happen, what would you do if you moved into an apartment and they chased you out of there? Well, you know, I hate to say it, but I've been watching and learning about van life. Learning about van life. I'm up here in Minnesota. There's no way you could live in a camper all year round up here. It wouldn't happen when it's 20 below out and all this stuff. It wouldn't happen. You'd freeze your butt off. So, you know, what's the second option? Maybe get a pop-up camper and head south. That would be, head to Arizona or Utah or somewhere in that area, Colorado, somewhere in that area, maybe Montana or something. They have BLM land where you can camp free up to 14 days, and then you just have to move to a different spot. That's it. And you can camp another 14 days. Now, this is kind of being extreme thinking this way of life and all this stuff. But if I ended up on the street, I'm learning about this lifestyle because I'd be screwed, you guys. So getting a camper, moving south where it's warm, would be an option. Living in the desert, I don't want to live in the desert. I don't want to do that. There's tarantulas, there's poisonous snakes, there's scorpions. They would hurt your dog, get in your camper and all this stuff. I'm not crazy about that, you guys. There is a downside to that, lifestyle. And you would be camping all the time, you know. But it'd be better than being out on the street, living underneath the freeway with having nothing, you know. So I've been watching videos, learning about this lifestyle and everything like that, just for a backup plan. Just for a backup plan. Because I could move out and they could harass me so much and they could blame me for, these guys lie for a living, you guys. They could say that I'm harassing this guy and I could get kicked out and all this stuff, and I might not have a place to go, with my dogs. So luckily I have good credit, but I can't do anything until my truck is paid off. But if you picked up a camper or something like that, and you had a backup plan, well, okay, we're gonna head south where it's warm, out of Minnesota. There are companies for people who live that lifestyle who don't have an address. There are companies out there where you can get a permanent address. One place is North Dakota, not too far from Minnesota, just a state over. Okay, you could go there and get a permanent address, and you have your mail forwarded to you wherever you are, and all that stuff. There are solutions to living in a vehicle, or a camper, and there's tons of people who do it. There's tens of thousands of people who live this way. I wouldn't do it unless I was forced to do it. If I was forced to do it, I could do it and make it. My truck is pretty reliable. And I got a warranty on my truck. I have a warranty on my truck. I got a warranty for 2 more years on my truck. Covers the motor, the tranny, the transfer case. It's covered, 100% covered. That I paid big bucks for a warranty on that truck. So, my main purpose of this video is we have to think about our future. We got to make sure we're not out on the street. I know a lot of people don't want to go on disability. You're kind of screwed either way. um, you would have a income coming in every month, so you're not out on the street. It's a tough decision to make, but we gotta make sure we're not out on the street, because when we bounce around to TIs and all this stuff, a lot of perps open up their homes for TIs, and they get perped, and they end up getting perped and everything else, and they end up on the street again. You know, so we really, being a targeted individual, we have to think about our future. If we're a hard target, you know, um, and they have the power to turn everyone against us. If they want to make us homeless, they could, you know. Um, just like John Hall said, he said, the purpose isn't to make you homeless and all this stuff. If they wanted to do that, they could do it in a week. They could make you homeless. It's more of an experimentation program. But there are TIs out there that are homeless, you know, because they kind of went against their family. Their family wanted them to go get diagnosed, go to the hospital, all this stuff, and get falsely diagnosed, and they end up on the street. Is that a good decision? I don't know. It's their decision, but we can't bounce around forever. Some TIs, you can tell it takes a toll on their body. It does take a toll on their body, and they've aged, and they're younger than me, and you could tell they're going through a hard time. Me personally, I would do whatever I could to get disability, and get some income coming in and find a steady place to live, um, that's me personally. I don't want to be living on the freeway and not having any money and not having anything. I couldn't do that with my two dogs and all this stuff. But we do have to have a backup plan when we're a TI, because they can rip everything away from us that they want, and they can do it in a week if they want to. So that's my message. What's the right decision? I don't know. You have to make that up for yourself. Make that decision for yourself. But we have to have a backup plan. We got to have a backup plan when we're a TI, and have a backup plan, and get our credit in where it's good and all this stuff, just in case we have to buy a camper and live in it, or move south, or whatever. We got to have reliable transportation, or you know what I'm saying. It's a tough decision. We got to have a backup plan so we're not out on the street, you guys. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, so not much going on with me. It's Wednesday night and stuff, and I think about my future all the time. And we have to be safe. We got to be in a safe place and all this stuff. And if family members don't want to help us out and stuff, I feel lucky in a way. I do have a place to stay. I am trying to move out with Tanner, and we're going to see how that goes. They could chase us out of there, which could be scary. I don't know what I'd do, Anyway, so I'm going to cut this off. I'll talk to you guys later.